All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. This is just we haven't had one in about a month, and so I did just want to touch base with you all. I know you guys are most and gals are wrapping up for probably your Christmas break here in the next probably maybe by the end of this week. Some of you might go a little bit into next, but maybe not. So, like I said a few minutes ago, we don't really have any new information. We haven't received anything from USDA recently, and I really don't anticipate anything. I shouldn't say that because then now we're going to get some information, but I don't anticipate really much, if anything, over the Christmas holiday. So we'll just move through these slides that we have and then just go to questions towards the end, like we always do. So Dana, if you want to go ahead and get started on the PowerPoint, and that way we aren't keeping anybody. Just want to reiterate again about equipment purchase approvals. A lot of school districts have some child nutrition funds, which is unusual. Feeding so many kids at the free rate for this long, and now currently you're feeding at the free rate, which is the highest free rate you can get through the summer program. So just a reminder that if you're needing equipment approval and it's over $5,000 and it's not on P8, P for Procurement 8 of our CNP manual, I do have to approve that ahead of time, and you do need to be using proper procurement, 2 or more bids, even phone quotes if it's under the small purchase threshold. So I'm getting quite a few here, and I know I've got one. I've had to check with USDA on two recently. Probably going to be okay with those, but they're kind of on the fence with what they're asking for. So, and as a reminder, if it's exclusively for child nutrition, so, you're talking a stove or a steamer or something, that's going to be really specific for child nutrition, that child nutrition funds can cover that in full. If it's something that might be used with another program, you do need to apply that indirect cost rate, that OSDE, OCAS department does give for each district, and we would need to see how that methodology and the other programs would cover some of that. So again, always more than welcome to reach out to me in an email, and I do get emails with lots of questions on equipment, and it's easy to get resolved. So we can do that, but I do know that there's probably going to be quite a bit of 3-month carryover balance from last school year into this year that needs to be spent. We don't have our list yet from OCAS, but we anticipate that probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe right after the first of the year. And that's if there are any school districts that exceeded their 3-month carryover, we would be sending a letter asking for a spend down plan. And so we're just kind of preparing for that. I do think we'll have quite a bit of that this year. Some of the emails I'm getting from superintendents and child nutrition directors and such are saying they know they have a carryover, so they're working on that. And then some will just notify through our letter process that we normally do. So we're here to answer your questions on that. And I may have even gone into the next slide. I'm not sure, Dana. Yeah, talking about procurement, I did a little bit. Anything under the $250,000 would be considered small purchase. You do need the 2 quotes. Anything over the 250, you've got to do formal procurement. We have procurement information in the manual, and again, that approved equipment list is on P8. So any questions, we can deal with that and just reach out to us. Again, upcoming reports, this kind of stems from our October reports, and we go into several months of reporting. Once you've certified your SSO October claim, your low income report unlocked. And most of you, we have the majority of those. There's still some we do need, so please be sure and get those in. Certify your low income report in the checklist in CARS and send us a signed copy by the superintendent. Both of those copies need to be our copies from CARS, not a copy from your system, your child nutrition system. Go ahead and go back. Dana, I think I might have missed something. Sorry. Once your low income is approved by our office, then your November SSO claim will unlock. After your November claim is certified, your verification report will unlock. and you do have to do verification this year. Once your verification report is approved by our office, your SSO December claim will unlock. So now we can go to the next slide. Okay. This is, again, if you haven't gotten us your low income report, we do have to have that completed in CARS. That also needs to be printed and signed by the superintendent and sent to this office. We have to have a hard copy. We are going to make sure that the copy we get, hard copy, is what is in CARS. So that can be scanned and emailed to our office at the nslp@sde.ok.gov website. And we also still have our fax at 405-521-2239. Okay. Next. Okay, there we go. Again, monitoring is required this year for the programs. You should have done your seamless summer review within the first 3 weeks of operating. Reviews are currently being done, and we have noticed that there have been several that didn't get that done. That still needs to be done. Yes, 3 weeks was quite a while ago because we're halfway through the school year, but please go ahead and get that done. You also need to do your NSLP and SBP if you're multi-sided. Those are in the Child Nutrition Manual, and those need to be done by February 1st. That's maintained at your district. You also have to review, if you're a management company, you have to do the checklist once a year, and it's in the SFA, the school. You review the management company annually, and that form is in other documents in CARS under the Food Service Management Company tab, and it's the last item listed in there. So you have to do that. You have to do that, and you maintain that. You can do it more than once, but you got to do it at least once. You guys manage that contract. You need to make sure they're doing what you want them to do for your district. It's very important that you do that. If you are doing the after school snack program, ASSP, after school snack, not CACFP at risk, there are 2 reviews required for that. One's within the first 4 weeks of operation. If you didn't get that done, you need to get that done still. And then you need to do one more before the school year's out. Keep going. We are doing reviews. Reviews have been going on for a little over a month. Any district that was supposed to be reviewed last school year, which would have been 2021, will be reviewed this year, 21-22, and procurement reviews are going on as well. And just as a reminder, we do contract out our procurement reviews with a company, a CPA firm, David Gandel Incorporated, and Robin Dickerson may have reached out to some of you already. We got lots of email questions asking if that was spam early on, and it wasn't. So if you got something like that, you do want to reply to her. Next one. Upcoming calls. Just as a reminder, we will continue, if anything comes up, to send stuff out, and we do continue to send information out through CARS district-wide, and training for spring information will be coming out, believe it or not, here in the next little bit. Our next call like this will be January 3rd at 1:30. That's what we're anticipating. We wanted to just go ahead and get all those on the schedule for the rest of this school year. There's going to be a food service management training in January. It's going to be the latter part of January, and it'll start in the afternoon this year. It'll be a combination. Right now, it's a combination of, you can do it in person if you'd like to, but it will also be done via Zoom. So you'll have an option this year. And then our summer food service program trainings will, believe it or not, be starting the end of January. We're already starting to think about that, as I'm sure many of you are. Those always start about the last week of January and go into the first, kind of late March. Sometimes we have to add one in the first part of April, and Dee will be having one, fingers crossed, an in-person one in Tulsa, possibly 2 kind of back to back, like she did before COVID hit. And then we're hoping to have some in-person ones here in the city. We'll make those Zoom as well, because we just don't know what's going to happen. So we've got to be prepared to do both. And so that's what we'll do. So be looking for that. The last call, which was on November 8th, is linked in CARS, as all of them are, all our previous calls are. And I think we're nearing the end of our PowerPoint. Like I said, we don't have too much. So I'm going to go back into the chat because I have seen some questions pop up, and we will go from there. There haven't been too many. Low income report numbers for CEP schools. We don't have the October 1 report from accreditation yet. That's what we're waiting on. They have to get all those from the school districts. I'm just kind of give you a rundown of how that works. All the schools report to accreditation their October 1 numbers and in a reporting form that they do every year. They have a due date, and I was told that on the due date they still had about 100 that hadn't done it. So they have to get those in, and then they have to go through them. They have to check it. They have to validate it. If there's problems, they go back to the district and they get the correct information or questions answered. So it's a process. It is every year. We go through this every year, but we are still waiting on that report from accreditation to be finalized, fully validated, and correct so that we can get with you all. PEBT cards are still coming. I know I've been saying that for a while, but they are. I've had 2 calls today. I'm on my, I don't know, maybe I've had 3 calls. This might be my 4th one. All about PEBT. So they are still paying PEBT for school year 2021, which was last year, and they have not paid summer PEBT yet. So don't tell your parents not to give up. If they have completed the form, the parent review form on the SDE website, they do not need to do it again. One time is all they need to do it. And those are being checked for duplicates. Things are happening on that end. So they're still paying. I do know that from DHS. And then, so don't fret. Don't tell them not to fret. There's still that possibility. And the corrections process is not, they can still fill out that parent review form if they think they should get one and they haven't. They can still go there, but they only need to do it once. And then there's still going to be an opportunity for corrections and training. There's more to come on that. That was one of my calls today. So I can't say anything else, but there's more coming, I promise. Let's see, my chat just jumped. I always doubt myself on this item. I'm serving SSO, but I'm multi-sided. So I did the SSO reviews, but do I need to do the other? Yeah, if you're multi-sided, you'll need to do the NSLP and SBP as well. You'll do one for each site that does NSLP, normal, non-COVID, and then half of those have to be done for breakfast. On the low income report, I'm CEP, so I need nothing at this time, correct? We're still waiting on that report for low income and CEP. Wondering about a deadline for spending the NSLP CARES emergency funds that we received this year. No, that was directly to me. Once you receive them, they are considered expended, so you're good. Is that survey still open, Dana? I forgot about it.
No, the survey closed. We closed.
Okay.
I'd had the lady up there. She was supposed to have closed it like the November 15th.
Okay. No big deal. That's fine. Do reduced price students receive PEBT cards? Yes, it's for free and reduced students, but they had to have been a virtual learner last school year. So that's tied to it as well. What about parents that got PEBT that should not have received a card? They were instructed to destroy the card. That's the guidance we were given. I'm not able to claim in CACFP for October or November. Last we knew the application was corrected and sent back for approval. They're still working through CACFP applications. They check them. If they need corrections, they email you back, and then you make the corrections and they get back to it. So it's a process. Lots of changes were done in that this year. And so we are still working through those. So yes, time will come. So I'm to the end of the questions, but I do want to ask you all with the break, and if you have questions, you can continue to put them in the chat. That's fine. With the impending Christmas break, are you all serving? Oh, you can't. Never mind. Through SSO. Sorry. I just answered my own question. You can't serve on weekends on holidays. So I was going to ask if you all were serving meals. Okay, never mind. So let me, Dana, do you want to announce, or do you want me to announce? What would you prefer?
You go ahead and announce so I don't cry.
Oh dear. Okay, so last Friday, Dana put in her notice that she will be leaving us at the State Department. She was able to, I don't know if many of you all know this, but Dana lives in McAllister, and Dana comes and drives up here for the week and is away from her house and home and husband. And her husband does have a few health problems, nothing, he does just have, and that's all I'm going to say. And so she was able to go back and become the food service director for McAllister Public Schools, because Donna, who is currently at McAllister Public Schools, has taken another job elsewhere. And so Dana has decided that she's going to go back into the districts doing what you all do and be able to be home and be with her husband and be home every night rather than here. Basically, she's here 4 to 5 days a week typically. There's been a little bit of teleworking that she's been able to do through this, but so yes, she is going back to the school district, McAllister's, where she kind of started. She'd been there for many, many years as a management company employee when they were, and then she started them back up as self-ops. I don't know how many years ago now, or however long it was, but she's worked on both sides. So she's torn, but it's what's best for her, and that's what she needs to do, because it's a sign that that's what she needs to do, that it opened, as far as I'm concerned. So she'll be greatly missed, as I see many of you saying in the chat that so she will be, her last day here is January 7th. And from what I understand, she will start there that following Monday on the 11th. So I agree. Whoever just said doors open when you need them, I couldn't agree more. And I think that's what happened for her and her husband. He's thrilled. She's on the fence. So it looks like everybody is going to miss Dana, including myself and us in child nutrition. I don't think, I'm going to scroll up. I don't think there were any messages. Yes, Kendra put in the chat as a reminder, SSO meals cannot be served during the holidays or weekends. Thank you. I started to say that and caught myself. I think all those are for you. Weekends through CACFP, but not through SSO. If we will need, as far as next year, it is very early, Pam. I just went back up to the chat and saw your questions. You're right. It's very early. USDA is said it's early, but we do talk about that every time we have a call with them and we ask, but they have no information as of right now what next year will look like. We don't know if it's going to be served meals free, if we're going back to some sort of whatever normal was before COVID hit in March of 20, sorry. It just feels like it's been that long. So we don't know yet. As soon as we know something, we will be sure and pass that along. Please keep in mind that we found out about the way school would look for child nutrition this current year. We found out about that in April. So it is still fairly early. I know you guys are trying to plan and your districts are trying to plan, and we pass that along to USDA when we talk to them. But right now they're just saying it's still too early. Hopefully, I'm hopeful that it's by April, to be honest with you. I just don't have any way of knowing, though. Okay, I'm going to scroll back down here and make sure. Pod request. I need to go back. I remember getting that. I'm sorry if I didn't reply to that. I will find that. No, that one is not on the fence. I know the answer to that one. And somebody direct messaged me about some, like an equipment, and that's what I'm referring to. BELSAGC. Okay, I'm making a note on that. I thought I had replied. I apologize. I'll get back with you. I know it's early asking. Yeah. I don't know yet. And then I think we've got the news of Dana. Scrolling down because I know I've got some questions down there. I hope you guys had a good break too. We hadn't talked since Thanksgiving, so let's see. Still scrolling. Got that one. Oh, it jumped on me. Okay, there we go. All right, I don't see any others. Questions.
I scanned back through. I don't see any other.
You too? Okay. Okay, I don't either. So like I said, the deadline for the verification summary report, you want to go back to that slide, Dana? It's just going to depend on when you do it. It will affect a claim of when you can submit a claim. And I think it's the December claim. I'm drawing a blank. That's right. Next one, I think. No, this one. It was the last one. I'm sorry. Once your verification report's approved by our office, then your SSO claim, December claim will unlock. So you've got to do your verification before we can give you access to your December claim. So the sooner the better.
Oh. And remember, you weren't required, I was just going to say, remember, you were not required to do verification unless you select or you took applications. But if you took applications, you had to do verification and you have to do the report. And even remember, if you're normally a CEP or provision school, you still need to go in and check the right boxes that you were a CEP or provision school to get the report. So your December claim will open up.
Yeah, good reminder. Jim put in the chat that Commodities had some great products in their unallocated list. They got a bunch of fruit and chicken. So that's good news. Yeah. Reach out to Commodities about that. That's just additional items that you can order and receive through them. So good deal. I'm glad to hear that. I do want to ask, you guys are still dealing with, I don't think anything's changed. We're still dealing with supply chain issues, correct? Is there anything that you haven't mentioned to me regarding that because we are having, okay, it's getting worse. Okay, good to know. Because like I said, we're having that call with USDA on Thursday. Article that said, that's the summer, Alicia, that's the summer amount. PEBT summer amount, and their goal is still December 31st. As of, I believe they mentioned, I can't remember if that was a call I had today or last week. There's been a lot of PEBT calls that I've had, but that is still their goal. Okay, worse, some process is becoming more of an issue. Okay, still issues. Okay, Tankersley is doing well. That's good to know. Worse, even commodity processing. Okay, now pizza crust, chicken, and still no hamburgers. Okay, so nothing's really improved. Basically, it's the same or possibly potentially getting a little bit worse. Okay. Talked to Jacqueline. She was able to adjust my unused pounds. US Foods not any better. Cereal. Okay, trays. Good. You were able to get trays, Shauna. Great news. Okay.
Maybe they're just getting in one ship at a time and unloading.
Yogurt is out. Oh. Okay. I hadn't heard about yogurt. Is it a specific brand that's out of yogurt? And then somebody else says they got trays but no hamburgers. So yes, we had heard hamburgers. So it's kind of trickled. Okay. Buttermilk is harder to get. Breakfast items are tough to get in whole grain. Okay. Multiple flavors. Oh, no granola. Okay. Yeah, we had heard somebody put hot dogs. We had heard at one point that the casings that hot dogs are made with or put into to serve, that was the problem, is the casing. So that was going to be an issue for anything like a sausage link, a hot dog, and stuff like that. We had heard that. And then someone put something to me, I think. Do you know if they sent a lot of PUD cards out wrong? I don't have an answer to that about the PEBT cards that were incorrectly issued. Will they have that corrected before summer? I don't have an answer for that. I haven't heard anything on that on any of the calls. Let's see. Whole grain items. Okay. Lots of shorts on burgers and pancake on a stick. Lisa, Shauna, reach out to Lisa at Union. She's got a great granola recipe if you want it. Sausage patties. Okay. If you can get a breakfast item, the price has doubled. Oh, wow. Breakfast is okay. Breakfast prices have gone skyrocketing. Not that other food hasn't, but. And then J.E. Mosley mentioned that USDA's granola recipe is super easy and very good, just as an FYI. Cooking for Kids has a great granola recipe, is what I'm reading, that they've been using for quite some time. So there's some options there too for you. Okay. So if you go ahead and put anything else in the chat, because we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, I didn't have a lot to begin with, but I just wanted to touch base with you all and let you get some of that information, let you know we don't have anything as far as next school year, but as soon as we do, we'll touch base. Our next call's January 3rd. And of course, that may depend on, I mean, if there's absolutely nothing to update you on, we may cancel that one. But we did want to, in case we needed to, we wanted to get back on our schedule. So you guys have a phenomenal break. You're so deserving of it. And I wish all of you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that fun stuff, holidays, anything else. Yes, good luck to Dana. Can I come to LAC with you? Send me the information. I've never been, and I probably need to go as a new director. So send me. I haven't gotten anything on it. So are they having it in person, Shauna? Really? Yeah, send it to me. I have not gotten
Jennifer,
what?
You should go. It is an experience. LAC okay. is an experience.
Well, and I don't know if, I mean, who would send that out, if it might have gone to Debbie still. I still get people that send stuff to Debbie and they get the reply that she's no longer working, and then they get it to me. So if it's an automated email, it wouldn't know to necessarily email me, but I didn't get anything. So yes, I knew that annual national conference with SNAs in Orlando, and so far it's in person. Yes, I did know that. Okay, yeah, send it to me. Merry Christmas. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. I'm kind of itching to go somewhere. I haven't traveled in a while because of all this. Okay, so that's all we've got today. You guys, again, enjoy your break. Thank you for everything you've done. I hope you get rested and get back in January with a just not so weary, because I know how much you guys have gone through. So enjoy your break, and we will plan on January. And thanks for everything. We'll see you guys next year, I guess I can say. Bye, everybody.